Howdy ho, neighbor. My name is Warbrush, and this is a Loxodon that I drew for a friend of mine. And you might be able to tell I suck at sketching. It's not something I'm terribly good at. It's not something I actually work on all that much either. So I'll tell you why. Like I had this friend who was amazing at sketching. She could just put pencil to paper, and everything she did was it was just very beautiful, and it was elegant in the lines and the shapes, and everything just came out in such a glorious manner. I always wanted to be able to emulate that. I came to realize, though, that it wasn't my process. That isn't how I worked. I worked better if I was able to just scribble down a shape and kind of mess with it, or if I'm doing traditional, I use the eraser a lot. I just want to get things on paper. My biggest hurdle in art was the start. Getting past the start of the process was always the biggest issue I've had, and it's because I always wanted to be a astounding sketch artist, and it's just not something that I do. So my way of working around that was just to scribble down something. I completely skipped the sketch phase by just kind of roughing out something real quick and not worrying about if it looks good or not, because I'll manipulate the shape while I'm rendering or a bit before the render. It doesn't matter. What matters is that I start and that I continue with the drawing. And that's helped me a lot understanding that, to just kind of skip that step and not look back. It and I think it's, probably a legitimate way of working through this process. I'm not some super professional artist, but it's the same as though I would be a sketch artist. Like, it's just as valid, and it helps me overcome that initial disgust I have with the look of my art piece. It's gonna look like trash for 80% of while you're doing it, but it all comes together in the end, and you really got to understand it comes together in the end. But yeah, that's just a little tidbit that I've figured out about myself. I hope that helps you guys if you're struggling with starting projects. Maybe you're not starting them in a way that is beneficial to how your mind wants to work through the process. And maybe it would benefit you to try different styles of starting that aren't just the standard sketches. It helped me a lot. Just scribble something down and start with it, because the thing that I find the most enjoyable in any art piece is the endless, tedious render. So I hope that helps.